January 9th, day 28 of my cycle, my first cycle that I've tried since the miscarriage. I probably shouldn't do this to myself, but I'm going to take a pregnancy test, even though I know it's probably going to be negative, but I'm going to do it just because I just want to put it out of my mind. And then next cycle, I will go back on the letrozole if I'm not currently pregnant. I think I'm gonna cry. I'm pregnant again. I'm scared. I don't know how this happened. 2 years we tried, and gosh, I haven't even told Greg yet. Like, literally just found out. I'm in the bathroom right now. 2 years we tried without treatment and nothing. Our first cycle on letrozole, I was able to conceive, and I thought for sure that that was the only way I would ever be able to conceive again. But I didn't have treatment this month, and I just took my pregnancy test, and yeah, okay, you can't really see it right now. I'll post a picture, but there is definitely a line there, without question. So it's January 11th. I took another pregnancy test this morning. The line is definitely getting darker. I'll put a comparison picture here, but I'm just like sick to my stomach over this. Like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared that this is gonna end in a miscarriage again. And like, I don't want to get my hopes up only to like have it taken away from me again. Literally every like little like tiny little thing is like panicking me. Like on last night I had taken another pregnancy test, but I had drank a ton of water, and so my urine was very, very, very light, like almost as clear as water. And when I put the test strip into the urine, it was lighter, like the line had shown up lighter, and I was panicking, freaking out, like, oh, like the line is getting lighter, like I'm miscarrying already. The only reason the line was lighter was because it was not as concentrated as it had been the first time. So I took another test this morning with my morning urine, and it was darker because my urine was more concentrated, so that eased my mind a little bit. But then I had some really light spotting later today, and I like panicked, like, oh, I'm miscarrying, when light spotting is normal, but it could also mean miscarriage. So I just like, I'm so in my head about this just because of my past experience. So I'm really just trying to like let go, and like, there's nothing that worrying is gonna do for me. It's not gonna help me in any way, but I just can't stop worrying that this is gonna end in a miscarriage. And I haven't even had blood work done yet, or an ultrasound, or nothing. Like, I'm only 4 weeks along, but I'm already just so scared. Okay, it's Thursday, January, I lost track, 15th. I went in for blood work on Tuesday, the 13th, and at that point I was 15 days past ovulation, but I had gotten a like positive on the stick at only like 11 days past ovulation, so I was like, we can get a blood test. So I went in and had the blood work done, and my test, they called me with the results, and they're like, yeah, it's positive. It's actually very positive. So the last time that I was pregnant, I was 18 days past ovulation when I had my blood work, and HCG levels were at 200 at 18 days past ovulation. This time, at 15 days past ovulation, my HCG levels were over 1,000. It's definitely very positive. I don't know. It could mean nothing. It could mean twins. It could mean a molar pregnancy, which is very, very uncommon. So I'm trying to like just shut that down right now. And I really shouldn't even just read into it at all, but I do. Especially because Greg has always said, we're going to have twins. We're going to have twins. And the morning sickness has already hit me. I, particularly when I'm working out, get very nauseous. Almost threw up. But even today at work, I was feeling it, and I was like, ooh, just nauseous. I guess these are all good signs, but also just makes me, I'm still nervous. I think I'll be nervous until I hit like the end of my first trimester. But anyway, I am going to go back in for blood work tomorrow just to see that my levels are rising appropriately, and then my first ultrasound will be next week if blood work looks good. So today is January 19th. On Thursday, I went in for more blood work. The results came back great. My levels were almost at 4,000, so they had nearly tripled in 48 hours. So blood work was looking great. They are going to bring me in for an ultrasound tomorrow, actually, Monday. However, this weekend I've been experiencing some cramping and some spotting, and I'm trying to like keep my head level and like not freak out. But I had like a breakdown at church this morning because when I went to the bathroom, like when I saw blood on my toilet paper, I was like, no, like this can't be happening again. So I come out and like just crying, like calling Greg, like we gotta go, and like a whole bunch of people saw it. So now people know that I'm pregnant. That I wasn't planning on telling people until I at least like had seen a heartbeat and known that everything was developing well. Anyway, we left church, called the doctor. They were very reassuring that like this is normal. The cramps are mild. The spotting it's just spotting, like that's a normal thing. But after you have a miscarriage, like everything worries you. And I was having like morning sickness and I haven't felt it in a couple days, and that also makes me nervous. I don't know. I just want to get answers, and hopefully the ultrasound goes well tomorrow. Well, it is January 28th. Yes, January 28th. I look like a hot mess today because I actually stayed home from work. Because the morning sickness is so intense that I've been vomiting and just like can't function normally. So I am getting a medication today that is supposed to help with that. So hopefully I'll be back in the game. But yeah, so that's a really good sign. Everything has been going really well, and I've had now 2 ultrasounds, both of which have gone great. The first ultrasound, and the gestational sac was measuring at 5 weeks, 6 days, which based on my ovulation, 5 weeks, 6 days. Based on my ovulation date, they were estimating that I was at 4 weeks, 6 days. And based on my period date, they would have said I was at 5 weeks, 4 days. So even with both of those, the gestational sac was still measuring ahead. So they adjusted my due date to when my period was, which would put my due date at September 17th. I went back yesterday for another ultrasound, and I got to hear the heartbeat, which like broke me because I didn't get to that point the first pregnancy. But then I could actually see the baby there and see the little flicker of the heartbeat on the screen, and it was just like so reassuring. So everything is going really well, and I just feel really incredibly blessed that God has finally answered our prayers, and this is actually happening. And I I feel very, very excited about this. Just knowing that this is actually happening this time. So it is March 6th. It's been some time since I've posted any updates. I've kind of just been going with the flow. I am still pregnant, about 12 weeks right now. I was just getting emotional watching those clips back, thinking about like the stress and everything I was going through at the beginning. So pregnancy has been a roller coaster already. I'm still constantly panicked that I'm going to have a miscarriage. Even now, coming towards the end of my first trimester, tomorrow I'm announcing publicly to social media that I'm pregnant, but a lot of our close friends and family know. So let me just tell you guys about how this has been going for me. So the last clip I mentioned that I was starting a medication for the nausea. It was called Bongesta, and it was the only like medication that's been FDA approved for women to take while pregnant. However, it did nothing for me, and the vomiting got severely worse to the point where I was vomiting 3 or 4 times a day, and I just was not functioning. Like, it happened mostly in the morning. However, I would feel nauseous. I was and still am nauseous all day long. So at my next ultrasound appointment, the next week, which was a little over 7 weeks, got to see that the baby was growing, and the heartbeat was now measuring, or was increasing. Everything looked great. I mentioned that I was still feeling nauseous and very sick and vomiting a lot, and so they prescribed me Zofran. I think that's what it's called. Which there's really no evidence that it can harm a baby, but then there's also no evidence that it can't, because studies have kind of been inconclusive on if it can cause birth defects or not. But basically they suggested I take it because it generally speaking helps. Not me. I took it. I've just been very, very sick. We'll just say that. However, I have gained weight significantly, like over 10 pounds, and which you can probably see in my face. But I also am starting to grow a bit belly, and it's getting very hard to hide. So I'm sure people are speculating, especially since I like am on social media a lot. Like it's kind of hard to hide it. So I don't blame you if you're one of those people who are like thinking like, I wonder if she's pregnant. Yeah, yeah, I know, I look it. But so it's been very hard to hide, and especially with how sick I've been and just exhausted. Like I've never felt this type of exhaustion before. It is so intense to the point where I'm like taking naps every day, which I take naps sometimes on the weekends. I've been napping like every day, and I don't like to nap after work because it's already, by the time I get home, like 4:30, almost 5 some days, and I'm still taking a nap, and then I have a hard time going to sleep at night. But I literally, I can't help it. My body is just like so tired, and I've had a very hard time getting up in the morning. I had a very strong morning routine of getting up at 4:15, doing my personal development, my like devotions, and then I would do my coaching work and work out, and it has been very, very difficult for me to do that, and a lot of days I can't even get through my workout because of how sick I am, that I will just do a couple minutes and I will stop because I am going to vomit. So it hasn't been a pleasant experience for me. However, I feel bad complaining about it because I have been so blessed to even be able to be at this point carrying this child. And so I don't really feel like I can complain about it. At my third ultrasound where I heard the heartbeat again, they changed my due date because the baby itself, the gestational sac was measuring much, much larger than the baby itself was. The baby itself measured more in line with when I ovulated, when my ovulation test was testing positive. So they changed my due date to September 20th, which happens to be my dad's birthday, which I don't think is a coincidence. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that my dad passed away in November. Very, very quickly this happened. He passed away on November 11th, and that is the same day that I started to miscarry my last baby. And so I think that in some way, I don't know if I don't know like how it works up in heaven, but I don't think it's a coincidence that I got pregnant the very next cycle after my miscarriage and that my baby is due on my dad's birthday. I don't think that's a coincidence. But anyway, I'm getting emotional now. Pregnancy. Anyway, we're gonna announce it publicly tomorrow, and then I'll probably post this video a few days, or I don't know, a couple days after, just to keep you guys updated on everything that's been going on. But yeah. Oh, let me just talk about why I've been gaining so much weight, even though I've been throwing up a lot. I have been having the hardest time eating foods that are good for me because foods that are good for me make me vomit. Meat, for the longest time, I couldn't even like look at it without wanting to like throw up. Vegetables, a lot of vegetables, nope. I can eat fruits, however, even fruit sometimes made me vomit. So what I ended up, a lot of the things that didn't make me vomit ended up being things like bagels or cereal, things that are not good for me, ice cream. And it's not like I wanted to be eating that crap, but like it stayed in my stomach, and I did the best I could. I did the best I can. Yeah, I'm rambling now, but yes. So when I'm most nauseous is when I'm hungry. So if I go hungry at all, I start to want to throw up. So I try to keep something in my stomach at all times. And the things that I am keeping in my stomach have, generally speaking, not been great for me. And so yes, I am gaining weight. And I'm going to try to keep it under control because I don't want to be massive by the end of this pregnancy. I want to make this the healthiest pregnancy I can. So I'm praying that soon that this nausea and vomiting is going to stop so that I can get back on track with my nutrition. Now, obviously, I'm not going to try to lose weight. I'm pregnant. I'm going to try to maintain a healthy diet, though, during this pregnancy and get back to eating my proteins and vegetables because I need it. And let's hope that baby here lets me eat it. Anyway, that's all. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, and this was a super long video just to tell you guys that things are going well.